That's the feeling I'm getting right now today in New York City, son. You know what I'm saying?
What's
It's
that weather like?
diabolical.
What's that weather like? What's that weather like?
It's like a nice 62 degrees out here, son. I'm about to be walking outside wilding, son. I want to smoke a black and mild outside. I want to, yeah. I want to throw all my jackets. I'm gonna throw all my jackets in the garbage. I don't even need that shit no more, son. I'm a hard body, nigga. Anyways, you know, when Jadakiss comes on, anytime you hear Jadakiss come on in the summertime in New York, it's hard body season. Do some crunches. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to the park and do pull-ups for 18 hours straight, nigga, just hanging. Hard body hanging in the park, you know what I'm saying? Just in case a nigga try me.
The way that New Yorkers love Jadakiss it really is special. It really is special. So I can imagine being there and hearing some shit. You like,
yeah.
Everybody kind of turn up just a little bit more.
Everybody over 42 is playing Jadakiss in their BMW, Mercedes. Every old head with a 2005 E-Class is playing Jadakiss. All the windows down. It's clean though. It's got 182 miles on it, but it's still 1,000 miles on it, but it's still clean. And he playing Jadakiss. He cut hair on the weekends. He just got finished cutting hair. Boom, 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 boom. He gonna go pick up his little kid. He got custody this week. Jadakiss.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? That's
he got custody this week. Damn.
I know he heard about it, but he gonna take the little nigga with him. He ain't gonna let my little man. That's my son. Yeah, this little man. You last time. Oh,
that's my legacy. That's my legacy.
Bro, when a deadbeat dad don't be around his kid that much, and he bring him around people, I ain't seen you since you was this big. Like, yeah, it's a problem. Actually, that's an issue. If you haven't seen me since I was this big, that's actually a legitimate problem that we should talk about. Friend.
That's my legacy. Good. That's my legacy.
I ain't seen little man since he was about 3 months old, son. How you doing? Like, yeah, nigga, ask my father, your best friend, why you haven't seen me. Your best friend. Why you... You see this motherfucker every week. Yeah. Ask him why you haven't seen me. Anyways, Dated, a show that investigates love. We are here. I'm Danny. I'm your host of this show. Let me get myself back together. I'm joined by one of my best friends in all the world, in the land, Torrance. Torrance, how we doing? What's the vibes?
We out here. It's lovely in Los Angeles. Well, it's lovely over there. It can't be lovely. It's lovely over here. I'm just saying it's lovely over here.
But you don't. I know the way you said it, it just feels a little bit like, yeah, y'all. I'll give you your 60, and I'll raise you your 80, and that to me feels kind of racist for you to say that. Because I know the weather. I know what it's like.
You know, like, but I will say, it's supposed to get down to like 68 on Tuesday. So, bring out your jackets, LA.
brother, fuck you. Okay.
People have all kinds of shit on out here when it's 68. It's a joke. It really is a joke.
Yeah. I'm just thankful. I'm in a season of thankfulness because you know what? Mm-hmm. It is not miserable in New York anymore. And I think the worst is behind us. We had one more snow last week. Anyways, I think we're good. Regardless, let's get into some current events, thoughts that I have. You know, I love these episodes, Torrance, because there's the random things that sometimes I just text you with little to no context. There's things that I think about.
I want to make sure that everyone is very clear about how he texts me. He prefaced this beginning as be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna just drop a bunch of shit in here. And then he'll just say something. And I'm like, absolutely. And here's the thing. I'd be like, I'm sure he's gonna explain it at some point. I don't get an explanation until we're about to do this. So, yeah. Like, no. Like, I get nothing until right now. So we're all about to learn and figure it out today.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? God is good all the time, though. Ain't that right?
All the time, God is good.
All the time, God is good, though. So that's what we really should be worried about in this particular industry. Yeah, I think in this industry, more or less, I think that's what we really should be talking about more. Is that God is good all the time.
More God.
Yeah. And how good he is. But anyways, all right, so a couple things I had, thoughts. I went to Whole Foods last week. Hot take, Whole Foods is better to shop at than Trader Joe's in New York City. If you disagree, we can fight in the street. It is what it is. But I think it's better to shop at Whole Foods than it is at Trader Joe's. 1. 2.
Okay.
Things that have rebranded, things that are considered broke or were considered broke coming up, our teenage years, our 20s, that have now become cool, trendy. Number one thing in food and beverage, rotisserie chickens. Rotisserie chickens, back in the day when we were coming up, early 20s, walking to the checkout line with a bag of chicken, of a whole chicken, was like, oh, they're going through something mentally and physically and financially. I'm not going to say anything about it. Yeah, you need a rotisserie chicken for $7. That's a whole chicken that may or may not have been sitting out since last Wednesday. Who knows? But they need that. I don't know who started this rebrand. I don't know what white person started it. It's similar to like tiny houses and how tiny houses are essentially trailers and they made them become cool. But one, I want to know your thoughts about rotisserie chickens. Did you ever have those sentiments? And then also, is there something that you've seen that's made a rebrand that used to be broke and is now like accepted?
My rotisserie chicken take, nigga, there was never a moment where I ever thought like, oh, like, I mean, it felt like, let me get this rotisserie chicken because it's going to stretch it, right? Like I'm gonna take off the thighs and the drums, right? I'm gonna probably use that. That's a quarter right there, right? I'm gonna do that with some rice. You know what I'm saying? And a veggie, right? But I'm gonna take them breasts and I'm gonna chop that up. I'm gonna make a chicken salad out of that. You know what I'm saying? Give me some crackers. Yeah. That'll be a good little snack.
You're really flipping a brick at this point.
At this point, I done took
Drug
this
dealing.
$6-7 rotisserie chicken and I have made multiple meals, multiple portions out this joint. You know what I'm saying? And because you can get a lot. You can get a lot out of rotisserie chicken. So like,
absolutely.
I don't know. For me, I've always looked at them as saving graces. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the price of rotisserie chicken has gone up. And there have been a lot more people getting those rotisserie chickens than they used to get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a problem to me, I think.
And the chickens have gotten smaller. No one's talking about that.
Yeah.
No one's talking about where they're getting these chickens from and why they're getting little, they're getting little like
baby chickens.
Baby,
these Cornish hens?
Giving us Cornish hens moment right at this moment. I do recall feeling that way. Like, yo, I just got to get a rotisserie chicken and tough it out and thug it out until I can get something for real to eat.
I got $12 in my account. All right, let me get this rotisserie and figure out and thug it out. At this point, it's a brick. I gotta flip this brick.
I know this is gonna work. I know this is gonna be good, right? And if it ain't, and if they ain't like season it right, if they ain't do whatever, I got sauces at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I got salt and pepper at the crib, and I need to like hot sausage. I got stuff. I got stuff at the crib. I can make this be great. So there was never a moment for me where I ever felt like, oh, I'm not gonna get this rotis, but I do understand the feeling because I do remember being like, yo, I'm gonna get this. Because and to be honest with you, I ain't grabbed the rotisserie chicken in a while.
Ooh, okay. So you affluent. This is black excellence. Well,
I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying like, I'll just like, now that you talk about the rotisserie, I kind of want to go back to her. Now I didn't need to go back and revisit her because she a OG. Like I feel, I saw a post the other day that was like, the way that y'all are talking, the way that y'all are doing Hennessy for tequila right now is really fucking crazy. And that's how I feel about the rotisserie chicken in this moment because it's like Hennessy was OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the rider. You know what I'm saying? That was right. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to bring back Hennessy. It's time to bring back a good Henny, like Henny apple
Henny
juice.
Summer? Is it Henny Summer?
To me, it's giving a Henny Summer. To me, I'm bringing back Hennessy in my. It's coming back, yo. Somebody posted it on Twitter, and I was like, damn, I feel kind of guilty, bro. Like Hennessy really held me down. And now I'm just like, nah, reposado, please. Anejo, please. Blah.
Yeah.
Yo, what about the Hennessy, bro?
We might need to go back to, it might be a Hennessy summer. It genuinely might be a Hennessy summer, because Hennessy and apple juice, to me, is something that raised me through my really early 20s through mid 20s until tequila kind of came about. But it might be time to bring back Hennessy, and not in a caricature way of I'm black, I'm drinking Hennessy, but like, no, this is delicious, and this is
delicious. Like, it's
healing process.
It's great.
I'm healing.
And so if we talk about a rebrand, tequila.
Yeah.
Tequila rebrand was intense, especially within the black community, because it was like, bro. Yo, it was Casamigo, Don Julio, Actor Fuli. Like, people are, it's in the songs now. They wasn't singing about this. It was Pastor Cavassier. It was part of that dark liquor. They weren't talking about this light shit.
Yeah.
If
you're not watching this right now, listeners, as Torrance is talking, I'm just clocking it. Okay, that's all I can do is just clock this, because that is a crazy rebrand. You know what? I'm gonna tell you stories. Freshman year, spring break. All right, we go to Panama City Beach, Florida, which, if you don't know, if you're not from the region, is one of the dirtiest places. I don't know if you're in retrospect, if you're like 30 and you live in Panama City Beach, you're disgusting, because you're every year around a bunch of weird college kids. Nonetheless, anyways, some of my teammates got a house. It was like 2 or 3 little like girls that were friends, or like friends of ours. I'm sorry. And then there was probably like 8 of us that were all teammates. I played football in college, for the listeners. All got a house. Barely had like proper sleeping arrangements. It was just like niggas sharing beds, whatever. It was like, we're 18. Let's thug it out.
You drop where you drop kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. I had like 4 couch cushions on the floor, just like, let me just get this, boom.
Exactly.
Nimble, body nimble. I'm 18, fresh. It is what it is.
Bouncing right back up like nothing ever happened. Like, you didn't just sleep on the floor.
I could drink gasoline and be all right type shit. So anyways, we go to the grocery store, first day, you'll get a bunch of food, liquor, whatever. So we there for like legit 5 days. And mind you, it's not, it's 8 people in the best shape of their life, and all, ages from 19 to 21. So we killing this liquor, and we're drinking day and night. So by the time we get to, say, like the 5th day, all we had left, we had tequila, Hennessy, all this kind of shit. All we had left was somebody, because we also went to school in North Carolina, for the people listening. So we had someone that brought homemade moonshine in like a Sunny D jug. And we had tequila. That's it. Also, for the record, current 33-year-old Danny, I'm going to the beach. I'm bringing a cooler, right? I'm bringing ice. 19, 20-year-old Danny and his friends, it might have been 1 cup of ice amongst all of us. So we're on this beach drinking hot moonshine, hot probably Jose Cuervo, off of 4 days of already drinking. Madness. And so after that time, I'd never drunk tequila until like maybe 3-4 years ago, because I was like, I'm good on this. Also, you want another, I'm going to tell a story. Fuck it. I'm going to tell a story. No, this is another part of the story that's like also funny. But in the long story short, I ended up in somebody's hotel room, and it's not even that bad, but all right. So anyways, I can't tell the details.
Okay.
I'm trying to skip it.
Okay. We won't.
Long story short, I end up in somebody's hotel room messing around. There's 2 beds, and she brings me to this other bed. First of all, we were locked out of our apartment for like the hotel for legit and half an hour. So we leave the beach, like, bet, let's just go to your room. Boom, 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 boom. We get to there. She can't find her keys for a half hour. I can't remember, but somehow she did find the keys. Boom. So we get in the room, whatever. Messing around. Go to the bed. Mess around. Don't actually have sex, but just messing around. Like, getting to that point. Because we've been outside. We've been pre-gaming for a minute. We got to get into a vibe.
At this point, you gotta bring it.
Taking the shower. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be like, whatever. On the bed. I think she might have been like naked or damn near. She might have been naked. Her friend walks in. Multiple friends walk into the room, hotel room. They get in the instant argument, shouting match. Not necessarily because we
Why
were
you-
fucking, kind of, or about to.
But it
because
was like,
we're
why?
on her bed. We're on her friend's bed. So I'm here like rocked up. I'm like, why? Why would you have me on this bed?
Why are you fucking on her bed? Like,
Yeah, why did you text your friends like, hey, don't come in? You know what I'm saying? I'm caught red-handed. But that wasn't even the funniest. The funniest part about it was I'm far away from our house. And this is before Uber. This is legit probably 2011, something like that. So one of the homegirl then just drives me back to my house. So I'm in the passenger seat like, that was crazy, huh? Leslie, y'all having a good trip.
y'all enjoy yourself. What y'all getting into later?
Yeah, it was like a nice 22-minute ride. I'm smacked like.
It's a minute. Like it's a drive. Like it's
Brother.
not even like.
No, because I couldn't. It was not walkable. Like it was not walkable. It was Panama City is like it's all coast, so you might legit be driving 15, 20 minutes. And our house, the only reason we were able to afford a house, it was right directly on the beach, but it was further out. It wasn't on the main like center of the strip.
Oh, okay.
So they were on the other edge of the strip, and we were like on the other edge of the strip.
And
so she dropped me back. I'm just like, man, that was. Anyways, that was a fun. Talking about a fun trip. That was fun. Anyway, shout out to Tequila.
I tell you what, I've only heard the things about Panama City, Florida, and how the government wants to shut down the spring breaks. That's how out of control they have been. The government is stepping in to get involved. And
it's spring break season now, or it's coming up. Spring break season is now, and it's coming up, and it's those kind of cities is sick because you got people from all over the world coming to this. Like Panama back then. I remember we met these chicks from like Tennessee that we were still kind of cool with up until recently, or Alabama. We met these shorties from Alabama. It'd be just like all these SEC schools would come down. So you just be, you and your 8 friends meet some other dudes or chicks that are from these random schools. Then that's like when social media was kind of first starting. So
y'all like, hey, like,
yeah. Like my senior year, we went to Miami and we went to spring break with some of those girls we met my freshman year.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I get it. So it was like,
but
it was like, again, probably a wild, it sounded like you had a wild time.
Brother, I mean, I wasn't even that crazy back then, but yeah, it was a wild time. Long story short.
That's a fun story.
That was, I left some details out of the story because, people have kids and stuff now, but it was hilarious to say the least. Anyways, another thing on this random thought thread that I have. One of our friends is recently single. All right, they were engaged and are now single, and he is a musician. All right, I'm a comedian. Torrance, you're a musician as well. I had this thought. I asked somebody else this the other day. Who's worse to date and break up with, a comedian or a musician? I have thoughts, but I want to hear your thoughts.
I think prior to the release of
the release of what?
The release of the track.
What is this
prior to the release of the track? No, prior to release of the track.
Of our friend, yes.
Of our friend's track. Yes. Prior to the release of the track.
For listeners, he dropped a track, a song on his Instagram about this relationship. Go ahead.
Yes. So prior to the release of that track, I think I would have said a comedian. But after listening to that track, I might have to say a musician. It's something about putting music to chaos that really takes it to the next level. Because it's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to make a joke about it. It's another thing to rhyme about it. It's another thing to put a beat behind it and creatively rhyme the awful things that have occurred and to do it poetically. So to me, I think that it probably is worse to break up negatively with the musician because the return is a song, a crafted, thoughtful, creative body of work, like a potential slap that is heard around the world, potentially, right? So
I think I agree because I think that sometimes comedy can be, of course we embellish a little bit, but it can kind of be very surface level. This is the story, this is what it is. And it's funny, but I think the shelf life of that thing is a lot shorter. If I put a comedy special out, even if I'm the biggest comedian in the world, the buzz around that comedy special might be a month maybe. Like, this was the best thing ever. Like maybe a month realistically these days. But, you're SZA or Beyonce, or, whatever, Taylor Swift, and you put out, and those are of course massive people, but even mediumly successful people. You put out a slap, you're Kehlani, you put out a little slap and it's in the club. Now you as Mr. Nigga that she's talking about, Mr. Ain't Shit Nigga, you're at a wine bar with somebody else, another baddie, and now the song comes on. And she don't know that this is word for word about you. Maybe she does.
It's talking about you, baby. Doesn't. Yeah, maybe she does.
It's like beefing with a rapper. You beefing with a rapper, you 50 Cent, and you hearing Ja Rule in the club. Now you got to be like, nah, turn that off. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do those guys feel like?
Like, They Not Like Us was the prime example of why you leave music. You leave musicians alone. Don't fuck with them, because I don't see that song. Because again, the song's not going anywhere. It's gonna be played again. Like it's gonna be played again while you outside, and the shelf life of it's gonna live. And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna scream A minor. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
That's good.
Let the Henny be in me again, because again, this is Henny summer. Let the Henny come. What? A minor. It's gonna happen loudly. All right. So again, I think comedians can be dangerous because they can just tell you it. They're gonna tell you it, and it's gonna be funny. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna joke. It's gonna feel bad for whoever's listening. But like you said, it's a shelf life for it. But music, oof. You rhyming about this shit? You making similes and metaphors and bringing up, that's crazy.
Catchy.
It's catchy as shit.
You get some coochie. You trying to get some coochie. You at her house. She play it. It's on her algorithm already. Now you got to act like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom. You at the club.
I gotta blow my nose. I gotta blow my nose real fast.
Yeah.
Like saying anything just to distract for the fact that yeah,
that's nasty. Just cause that's bad news. I don't know. I mean, I think comedians, we can be pretty spiteful, but I think the musicians are more sensitive than the comedians, and I think they will and y'all get away with it a lot more because you can say, dirty dick nigga, whatever, but if it's in a melody, it's like, okay, I guess sure. Yeah. Like you can call somebody out of their name. This bitch is tripping. This
literally,
bitch got me.
All that shit.
Like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. This bitch still be, she still got you better.
That bitch still be doing that. You're like, this bitch. Meanwhile, you on stage and you like,
I'm on
this
stage
bitch.
like, this bitch had me. All right, Danny, relax.
And everybody's like, whoa.
That's somebody's mom.
He needs therapy. Get him.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow therapy.
Shout out to comedians. Yeah, we need to. You know what we need to do one of these times? We need to come up with a list of the best breakup album songs of all time. Let's do that. Let's do that maybe very soon.
Let's do that.
Maybe next episode.
That might have to be. I think so, because again, it's about to get hot outside. Cuffing season is releasing, so a lot of people gonna be going through the release.
Whatever you had, let's delete that.
What you was laying up, you should put that down.
Or you gotta lock in. Either you delete it or you lock in. That's kind of really the season of this of where it's at now. It's like Control Alt Delete, throw it in the trash bin, delete the trash bin, or you know what?
Let's double down on this. Come with me to these places.
All right, second to last random thought I had, bad weddings, good or bad weddings. What I think there's a certain level of, you were talking about going to a wedding here soon. I haven't been to a wedding in a little minute. I went to a lot of weddings when I wasn't single, and I regret that a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not been to a wedding single, I don't think. And my God, one of our good friends, Jordan, one of our good friends, Jordan, got married. And that was a wedding that I should have been single at, but whatever. I won't get into that anymore. I've been to bad weddings though. What are characteristics of a bad wedding? Of course, open bar I think is mandatory. But out of your experience, you and I have been to a few weddings together. Characteristics of a bad wedding.
When I walk away from a wedding, I'm gonna remember a few things.
Yes.
All right.
The Drake exhale was hilarious.
Yeah, because let's be clear. Is the DJ good?
Yes.
Because
actually I lied. I've been to a wedding single. Yes, I've been to a wedding single. It was a white, it was half white.
That's right. I remember that.
White.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And my man was a comedian. Shout out to Eddie. That was a fun wedding because the DJ was amazing. Go ahead. Sorry.
You remember the DJ. You remember a great DJ, right? If the DJ is good, baby, that kind of like trumps a lot of stuff, right? Whatever. Is the food good? Is the chicken dry? Because everybody got a chicken dish. And the chicken dish scares the shit out of me because it's usually dry as hell. So I always opt for the steak because I think in my mind that I could salvage my steak a little bit more than I can salvage a dry, nasty ass, shredded up chicken.
But do you not think that my expectations for wedding food is so low that it doesn't really ruin the evening for me if it's not great? Because my expectations are just that low.
I have been to weddings with food is sensational, where I was like, oh, this is not like, oh, this is tight. Yeah. Whatever. So I remember the food. I remember the DJ, right?
Okay.
Again, open bar, like you said, to me, I feel like, if you don't have an open bar, why are we doing this? Should you be getting married? Shouldn't you be buying into the wedding industry if the bar isn't open for your patrons?
Close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.
Close the doors.
Yeah. Close the doors. If you ain't got, if you don't have open bar, even if it's well, I mean, it shouldn't be well, but if it even is, I know I'm preparing myself mentally as a grown man to handle this. But I do think open bar, and I think whatever you can afford should then determine how many people you invite. You know what I'm saying? If you can only afford 50 people, my wedding, for it to have been 25 people, I'm biased. I thought it was very fun. It was COVID.
It was fun.
So we were just thirsty for fun in general. But I think it was a really fun, genuinely fun wedding. The music, because the key to the music is that you got to have cool elders at your wedding. If you, as the bride and groom, are too worried about your elders being like offended by people twerking and having fun, the wedding's gonna be trash. The wedding's gonna be trash. But if mama and pop don't mind a little bit of ratchetness, they're ratchet themselves. They
just
like
doing
fun.
A little at the table. Yeah.
They got some Hennessy or some Grand Marnier pouring. My grandma loved Grand Marnier, you know what I'm saying? Like some nice black drink that she brought in herself and no one's gonna say nothing to her. Then we good.
Because that's
you know what I'm saying? Then the wedding's gonna be good.
Exactly.
Whether grandma's here or not, grandma might stay. She might go. It's up to her, but she good either way. She's not tripping. That to me is what makes a great wedding. Because I've been to some weddings where the elders are really particular and they, we don't want Mama Jenkins to be, offended. So now we got to listen to the edited versions of Flow Rider for 3 minutes or 3 hours. Now I'm miserable.
Now I'm pissed off because now we got edited Cardi B on there and it's just
also no kids.
We're not doing that.
Leave them kids at home. Leave them kids at home, man. This is not.
Especially if we're talking about open bar. Especially if we're talking because they don't understand none of this stuff anyway, right? They don't know what's going on anyway. This is for the grown folk. I've
never been to a wedding where the kids have been there. I'm like, thank God there's 6-year-olds running everywhere.
Thank goodness.
Thank God.
There's the 7 and 9-year-old over there wreaking havoc. Oh, another one for me. And I think this is kind of hard for me because I don't really be eating sweets like that. You better not have a shitty cake.
Ooh,
You better
the
not
cake should
have. The cake should slap. The cake should be delicious. The cake should be like, y'all, that cake, delicious. Y'all did y'all big one when y'all chose that. Don't have me. I have been to a wedding where the cake was horrible, and I couldn't. And this is before 4 times. This is the before 4 times for me in my 20s, where I said, they were like, oh, how is everything? They came by the table, and I was like, y'all, this cake, wow.
No.
Now, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. That was before I had a little bit of decorum
crazy
about me.
say that.
I know.
You spent
And that's okay.
tens of thousands of dollars, but you came up short. Thanks for the invite, bitch ass.
Yeah, no. Thank you so much for everything with this cake. Ugh, yikes. I don't know why I said that. I think it was the alcohol that made me do that, but I did say that too. We're still friends, thankfully, but I do regret that. And I actually had that conversation a couple years ago about that. Like, why would I say that to y'all? And I don't know.
Yeah, I had to go to a wedding once where the person I was dating or I was with was in the wedding, and it wasn't a fun wedding. That's tough. Because then you have the reception hour. You got to show up by yourself, and then you have the reception hour.
You sitting there by yourself.
Just having random conversations with people like, oh yeah, so what do you do? You talking to, war criminals like, yeah, so I kill people, at my startup, what we do is AI startup where we kill people overseas. AI style. Yeah, we're in a seed funding round. And what do you do, Danny?
I do it on my couch. I'll be on my couch.
Yeah.
And I'll push a couple buttons and,
We essentially, we're the Uber for drone strikes. So what we do is we create drones and the government buys them. It's all done by AI. So we really take life and we don't really give life. You talking to the most evil people at the cocktail hour, like
horrible
what's
people,
up, bro?
Awful people. Now, and unfortunately, it's like I don't want to talk to nobody else. I don't want to really engage with many people here anyway. So I'm stuck talking to your ass because you're just engaging with me. So I'm just like, oh wow, that's crazy. That's nice.
It's very nasty work.
That's awful. I mean, I've been to some really good weddings, but I've also been to some awful weddings where things were not put together well. Things did not start on time. Things were delayed. And again, I think that had a lot to do with the wedding planner too, but also
But black weddings, going in, this is going to be 45 minutes late, and that's fine. It's going to be 45 minutes late. It is what it is.
And I'm probably going to show up already a little tipsy. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like I will have my to-go cup with me, my coffee cup with me with the
absolutely
the cool lid, just to make sure that nothing, whatever, like a hot tea, if you will. It's literally tequila and soda.
What I also love about black weddings is that people will take the time to make a proper dress code. They'll explain it. This is, to cocktail. They'll sometimes even put the parentheses like, be comfortable but be fly, or all white and please only wear white colors, whatever. And it'll be business casual, just be comfortable, or this is on the beach and do your thing. And then there's always 1 to 3 black uncles who says, fuck that. Torrance, let me tell you something. My uncle, I have an uncle, love him to death. Some people in my family say I'm this version of that uncle. My Uncle Ro. He came to my cousin's wedding, gray sweatsuit. No one, but the thing about it, everybody else has suits on. No one gave a fuck, really. That's Uncle Ro. Because Uncle Ro's, he might be the most fun uncle. So when too much is given, much is, expected. Yeah. If I'm putting up in a Russell Athletic gray suit on with a leather jacket on, that's fucked up. But also, I've been drinking since noon.
and
Already.
I'm already coming. I'm bringing the good times with me.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the good times is on my back. I'm bringing this shit to life, so I get to wear whatever I want. That's actually you know what. You know what? You know what? I don't hate
Y'all
that.
are waiting on me.
That might be a little hot take. Look. As disrespectful as some could take that, I'm like, but that's he coming anyway. It don't matter. It given very much like.
I'm happy to see you.
All right.
Already lit. He already pregame, turned up. It is what it is. But that's an extreme example. But I feel like I've seen so many examples where it's like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm wearing this 2-piece linen suit, even though it's formal wear. Who gonna tell me?
Yeah.
Who's gonna tell me?
Who going? Dress codes. I dress codes for weddings. I get it. For the photos, for the experience, that I can understand. I don't really have a take on that. I will say that dress codes on other circumstances, sometimes they piss me off. Like if we're going out to dinner and you like, oh, I have a dress code, or we going out to the club and you want a dress code.
Oh, no, that's nasty.
That's gross. But a wedding,
That seems like a shorty thing though. Like shorties, they go to Barbados and y'all got to wear like earth tone bathing suits and shit. That's like,
it could be a shorty thing or it could be a queer boy thing, queer man thing. It's a queer thing, I think, like, too. It's just like very let me
sidekicks and shit together.
Like wear this color, make this thing, and I'm like,
If I see a bunch of niggas with different tones of orange, I'm roasted. I don't give a fuck. It's gonna call it hate speech. I'm making fun of you. Sorry. Y'all look like fucking Shore Bay Power Rangers together.
Oh my God,
I'm making fun of you guys. I'm sorry. My deepest apologies. If I see a bunch of grown-ass men in different shades of yellow together, before we get into Torrance's segment, we have our sponsors. This podcast is powered by our sponsors, and I'm really thankful to have our sponsors. So our first sponsor today, this podcast is brought to you by The Bridal Party. All right. I know we talked about weddings a lot. We talk about love. We talk about getting married. Yes. Make sure if you're selecting that bridal party, and this goes for men and women, don't let them be ugly or weird. There's plenty of times you go on the bachelor party, bachelorette party, I'm sure, and there's one weird guy, one weird ugly guy. He's thirsty. You go to the strip club. He's trying to pay for coochie immediately. Brother, relax.
He's already
now the house vibe is weird. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You see that look in their eye. There's nothing worse when you at a strip club, group of friends, some that you know well, some that you don't know well. You meet for the first time, and you're at the strip club having a good time. You look over, you see a certain look in another grown man's eye that you don't ever really want to see. It's a level of horny and desperation that's like, I did not need to see that part of you, brother, my black brother in Christ. That's a problem, and we need to be more selective with our bridal parties and shower, and that's what this podcast is powered by. Torrance?
Yeah, no, I thoroughly agree. It's nothing more frustrating than to be at a wedding or be at a function that involves the bridal party and someone's out of control. And I mean, visually, they don't look the most whatever. So in their mind, they're like, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pay for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the back. Like, sir, we just got our ones and you already talking to she already about to take you to the back. Like, can we sit down? Like, that has happened
shout out to sex workers, though. Shout out to sex workers, but it's like, brother.
Hands down, get your money. I ain't mad at you for that. I'm talking about goofy. I'm talking about goofy nigga.
But we just got here.
About the goofy.
We just got here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about goofy. I'm not talking about you, ma'am. You do your big one. I love that.
We might even still give. We're gonna give you the money.
Goofy.
We're gonna give you the money. But brother, can we just fellowship for a little bit before
can
you
we sit
immediately
down? We
go?
just got into the nice. We in the front. We in the like the spinny chairs. Let's sit down. Let's we about to cheers.
The food ain't came yet.
Like have a little.
We order wings. You double horny.
The wings. We got because everybody know that the wings at a strip club are pristine, superior.
Your son trying to FaceTime you.
Will.
You horny. Now you horny in the back room.
You know what I'm saying?
Your
like it's still early.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still early. Like, honestly, the ladies aren't even warmed up yet. Like, you're so eager. You're so eager Like, calm down, bro. Like, please calm the hell down. Like, it's getting goofy.
Yeah.
It's getting weird. Just relax just a wee bit. Like,
because that's a fact. The strip club, if you've been to a strip club, especially a good and big one in a big city, you know, you can say you get there 11:30, whatever, 11, maybe even midnight. The real joint's not really coming out till 1. You know what I'm saying? 12:30, and they get warmed up around that.
Like, yeah.
Like you over
You
here
gotta
blowing
breathe,
your load.
relax. You immediately walk in and I see you shooting you I'm going to the back.
That's so funny.
What? Did you get a drink first? Like, are you thirsty? Do you want some water?
Strippers are good though.
Like,
I want to start a sales company all the salesmen are either former or current strippers because they can just who's cool to hang out with?
Salesmen.
Strippers. Strippers might be some of the most coolest people in the world. I don't know what skill they've accumulated or what, but the way they can just
they tell you what you want and need. They are like therapists. They are underpaid. Like, I will say that much. I will say for the amount of work that they do and what they do for, like, it is impressive.
Shout out to the spring break. First strip club I ever went to, King of Diamonds, Miami, Florida.
That was your first one?
Yes.
Wow. That being your first is, how do you go?
It's crazy.
How do you go anywhere else after?
We literally went there, and it was like legit 5 or 6 years where I still followed the strippers on Instagram because they were so, like, it was a different level. Like, they were in King of Diamonds. If you've ever been, it's like 2 stories. It's a warehouse. So they would climb up, 30 feet, whatever, and then they would slide all the way down, and then they're like butt cheeks would make you stop, like an inch from the ground.
This is crazy.
It was like clench their butt cheeks. Like, what? It was crazy. They was throwing real money in there. That was crazy.
Real money.
They was throwing real dollars in there. It was real. Like, a lot of money's being thrown. A lot of Pell Grant. I spent a good third of my Pell Grant check that night for sure, easily.
Not the Pell down at King of Diamonds laying on the floor.
With the Pelly. But anyways, all right. Let's get to today's topic. Sorry, shout out to our sponsors though. Torrance, I had this thought. I was I texted you earlier this week about fear in relationships. I was talking to a group of comedians, and there was a couple guys and a girl talking about dating and committing and the issues with dating and all this kind of stuff. And about sometimes as men, I think we feel that there's a irrational fear around dating or specifically like settling down. And there's like this finality once we settle down, there's this finality. And I think there's, a rise in the non-monogamous stuff and the poly stuff that is a whole different podcast and conversation. But I wanted to talk specifically about fear in relationships with you and even how it may or may not differ in like heterosexual relationships and not too, right? Like if there's 2 dudes dating, like what's the checks and balances of that? And then specifically like my experience with like women and stuff. And I guess I'll ask you, my question is, even your season of dating now, where would you say you're at right now when it comes to dating? And is there a fear that you have around settling down at this exact moment?
No, I don't have a fear of settling down at all. I think the reason that I feel like I don't have that fear or I think that everyone is out here looking, and there are a lot of we live in a digital age, so there's a lot of options and there's a lot of people, and you're meeting a lot more people than people were 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So there's access to more folks. So the fear to settle down, typically, in my opinion, comes to the thought or the idea that I think it's twofold. One is I like this. I like this feeling. I like the attention that I'm getting, like on the multiple apps. I'm on 3 different apps, and I'm talking to seven to 10 people at a time, and I'm getting
different
love
kind of conversations. There's a freaky app. There's a former app.
Freaky,
there's
I'm getting all kinds of different things. I'm getting a lot of things scratched at the same time as I'm single, and I get to still pop outside and be as messy or as cool or chill as I want, whatever it is that you want to do, right? So there's a lack of, like, I guess, limitations on if we're talking about men specifically, that, like, in my experience, men typically are like, I just want to come and go as I please. I don't want nobody checking for me. I want to have a good time over there. I want to show love over here, but I also want to show love over here. Like, I want to be able to do that freely, right? And like you said, this is different than poly, kind of situation, but like very much like I don't want to be tied down to nobody. Right. I think that's the first thing. Second thing is I think that there's a fear that you're going to meet somebody better out there, right? That there's somebody that is better than what you're experiencing, that you're like, oh, I'm holding out for something. I'm holding out for the one that's like, has every box checked. That's like, oh, I'm going to drop everything. You're mine. And I want you to be, and I'm going to be jealous if anybody's with you. And and I know that feeling, and I know that person's out there. So they're holding out for that person that's going to check every single box.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
realistically,
Sorry.
Is that going?
I think that, I don't know if that is more of a boy or girl thing. I think my perspective is, of course, biased, is that it does feel like sometimes I hear women talk about that more. Like, these are the things that, have to be a certain height, got to make a certain amount of money. But I think dudes, as I say that, I think dudes still also have it. It might be more like physical things. Like, I was watching Love is Blind, and some little short dude was like, I needed her to be, certain amount of fit and all this kind of stuff. But he's like some pale 5'6", white guy. So I do think there's this idealistic thing about dating. I will ask you, what's the longest you've been in a committed relationship? Or like monogamous, I should say, not committed.
Okay, long as I've been in a monogamous committed relationship was 1.5 years.
Okay,
close to 2 years.
Mm-hmm. And then going into that, can you share what age you were?
This was,
or brief, or just be vague if you were in the streets.
Yeah, I was like 26.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like there was a big reservation then versus now to be like, I'm monogamous with this person?
You mean, is the reservation
like because you said you're ready? You're ready now. I'm saying back then, being younger, say this is whatever 7 years ago. Were you less ready and eager to be in a relationship back then? Is what I'm trying to say.
No, I think I just didn't understand.
Was it harder to get you? Yeah, was it harder to become monogamous at that age in your mid-20s in Los Angeles?
I don't think so. I think me being, again, I can only speak for my own, like, just type of type of person I am. Like, I'm like, if we're gonna do this thing, we're gonna do this thing, right? Like, relationship wise, it doesn't take. I'm not thinking about other people. If I'm like, okay, we're going to do this thing together, I understand. And I think now I understand even more that love is a choice more than it is a feeling, right? Like, and that's how I, understand love now, is it being more than just like, oh, I feel this love for you. No, it's a choice. There are a lot of choices that go into loving someone. And I think that back then I wasn't thinking about it that way. So I was just kind of like, yeah, let's get in a relationship. Like, again, I was in my early 20s. I'm queer. So my first real relationships are in my 20s. Like, my first real ones where I'm like, I'm able to go out, date, do the person, things. They're in my late, mid to late 20s. That is my real true experience with dating. Like, high school was a little weird because I dated women and I like kind of was like talking but it was like very like it was. I never really felt like I could be myself and just like explore and just be Torrance, right, and exist as me. Yeah. So my first relationships were chaotic as hell. Like, they were not healthy relationships at all. I was just very eager to get into them because I was like, oh, I want black love. I want I want that feeling. I know this feeling. And the feeling alone, I was like, oh my God, this love shit is crazy. This is like a drug. This is, and I understand why people lose their mind, how people go crazy over it.
Yeah.
If you just understand it as a feeling, you know what I mean?
Do you feel like it compounds because the person you're with also might be in that same reality of like, I came out of the closet a few years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So now we're both, because as a heterosexual person, you might get your little first boyfriend at 16 and you taking it to prom and your parents, your mom or daddy sitting you down and saying, this is what you should do, or you got to
You're able to have those
chaperone.
emotional roller coasters back
Get your heart broken,
in high school.
you know?
Yeah. You're like,
Fuck up a little bit.
You know, I kind of had this conversation too about how, and this is something I discussed, is like me being a black queer man trying to date or looking to date other black queer men. It is there's a patience that needs to exist, because within our own community, there has been a stigma that is subconscious to a lot of us, whether that's religion, whether that's family, whether that's, whatever it is that you've experienced growing up, whether, whatever that looks like, whether it's friends, right? We're starting already in the back, right? We're starting a few steps behind already. Right. Like I didn't, grow up in an area or in a space where being queer was like, oh, okay, little, Torrance is, oh, that's all right. Come on. We love you anyway. Come on in here. I can't wait to meet whoever you bring home. That's not the energy that it is. That's just not, not reality for a lot of black queer people. So for the majority, if I can be frank. So
even like the best case for a lot of folks is just like tolerance. It's not
tolerance,
even. It's not even the. Like you're a dad and you're 15. You got a little girlfriend. He's like excited. Oh, okay. Don't be fucking in my house type. Whatever. But a lot of people is just like, my son is gay and my daughter is gay, and like, okay, we still love you.
I'm gonna kick you out the house. You can't have this over here. I don't want to see none of that. Don't be doing that in my house. Don't be. It's there is no space for there to be this like true freedom to exist. And again, it's very different for the children nowadays, right? So that's like very beautiful, right? It's very great for them. But
do you think it actually is different?
I'm
sorry. What way do you think it actually is different? I know like media has changed a lot since we grew up, say 2000, early 2010s or whatever. But how?
I do think largely it is different because there is representation that exists, and and again, like obviously not us, but like our older cousins that are like 10 years older than us. They got the kids now that are that age, or like 10, 15 years older. They got the kids that are like in that young age, that teenage age, right? And so for them, it's not that far-fetched to have a queer friend, a queer best friend that you had, a gay best friend in school or something like that. Because in the 90s and the 2000s, those things were like, it was a lot more like we could have those conversations. Those things were a lot more present and a lot more visual than it was when our parents were in school, right? It was very taboo. It was, you don't do that. We don't talk about that. That is done, right? And so I think that there's a level of love and acceptance that I've even seen on social media, right? Of just like parents with young kids who are queer, and they're like, baby, you can, no matter what, whoever you bring home, I'm gonna love you. And if they treat you good, I'm gonna love them. Like, and like hearing that, it's special, it's beautiful, it's lovely. So I think that my fear never really came from like, I have a fear of like settling down or anything like that. But my fear was, is this really like, is this real love, or am I just like, or is this just like a feeling, right? At least in my 20s, if that makes sense. Like now I understand what love is from my own perspective. But yeah.
No, that is an interesting perspective, having those first, because you're not talking about, losing your virginity, but you're talking about love, building a thing, trying to build a healthy thing. And I couldn't imagine doing that first time in my, now granted, like I was never really like a relationship guy until I got married. Like I didn't have a committed relationship in high school. I didn't really have one in college. I came close, and I had someone that I dated for most or half of college, whatever. But but it was kind of on and off, and she was older, so she moved, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, it wasn't that deep of a thing. Whereas so you get into that 20s and you're like, all right, I'm starting to. Because I think the premise of what I'm asking is that fear of what it means as a guy. Because of course this is my only perspective. Why there is this stigma of fear, maybe when it comes to committing to a person, and I think some of it comes from. In the previous episode, I was talking to Brandy Denise about this comedian, and she kind of said it was as a guy, we feel this societal pressure to be set up before we settle down, kind of thing. I need a certain amount of money in my account. I need to be a certain place in my career before I can provide you things because I know you want things. And that sounds like derogatory, but it's not. Like you want
I want to be able to do that. Yeah.
Right.
And I want to be able to provide those things too. Yeah.
My pride, I take pride in you need something I can just, send a Uber Eats to you, or you need a couch or you need a fucking car or whatever. You want to take time off. You're stressed. You don't have to work. That is ideal.
Let's go.
And to
be
able
to book this thing for us. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go on vacation. I got you. So to be able to do that in this economy, and live in a city like New York or LA or Miami or where a lot of our friends, DC, where a lot of our friends and colleagues live, you're talking about like $300,000-$400,000 to be able to do that kind of stuff, like annual income without thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's tough to be like trying to reach for that level of success because you then have to potentially pause the other parts of your life. And there's some arrested development there because you're focused on, I'm trying to get my shit together so that I can live. So there's this fine balance when you look up in your 30s or late 20s, like, all right, when do I actually start or continue to live life as a normal person? But go ahead.
And even to that, I think the mentality needs to shift with the times as well, right? So like you said, the man being like, oh, I need to provide, I need to be the provider, I need to have this together so that when you get here, I got you on these things. But I think, like you said, where we are now, it's very different than it was, 10, 20 years ago, right? There can't be this that same mentality of like, oh, I have to have everything set up for you versus like, let's build this thing together. Right? Yeah. And I think being in a queer relationship has afforded me, at least to some degree, certain conversations that I have, at least that I have been having when I'm like going on dates and stuff like that. Is like, I want to build, I'm obviously building my own stuff. I already have my own stuff and I'm, creating my own things, but I would love to build a life with someone who has our lives are intertwined in a way that like makes our relationship make sense, makes a marriage make sense to even get to that point of settling down. It's like, you got me, I got you kind of thing.
I think it's twofold. It's like, one, does this person possess the ability to also as a man, sometimes I want to match and meet them where they're at too, right? Because even if you're building, you might be further along in the build than I am. So it's like, all right, let me catch up and make sure I can keep track. Because my building might be getting on TV. Your building might be, I'm on TV now, I want to direct TV. Or I'm a comedian, I want to be touring. You might be, I'm trying to tour arenas. So it's still, even in that build process, it can be tough because of the patriarchy and as niggas we tend to be somewhat
and ego and we want to really want to it's big ego.
Yeah, you want to be able to be that guy.
I want to be able to either match it or be up there so you don't have to. But I think a lot, and this is not for all women. Obviously, we see the clips all the time. Like, oh, what if you don't make? Right. If you don't make 250, if you make anything less than 250, right. I'm not whatever. So obviously it doesn't go for all women, but I think it goes for ambitious women who are on their shit and handling their business.
That was my exact point I was going to make. Yeah. My exact point I was going to make was that some people also are not builders, and that's boy or girl. Some people, they are, I'll meet you when you get there. You know what I'm saying? Or not even that, they just don't have the qualities to help you build in a way. Like I said, this is boy or girl. So you might be building a thing and they're in a different space in life. Their job might be plug and chug. I get a promotion every 18 months, do my thing, but I'm successful. I'm doing my thing. I got a nice car, I got a nice spot, but I'm like, slams laptop, you know? And that person might not understand that, like, okay, I might need to be on a Sunday recording a podcast and editing it, or I might need to be out every night this week, even if I'm not on the show, or I might need to drive an hour to do a bad show, you know, or invest money into this coffee shop idea that I have, or this Etsy shop, or whatever it is. Not everybody thinks like that. So I think sometimes building with the wrong person, even if they say they believe in you, could be really like detrimental to your overall mission. Because more times than not, when you're trying to build something that's off the beaten path of like traditional success, it's like not easy to like get the vision. Most famous people we know, the vision wasn't super clear until you achieved the vision.
Achieved it and you were there. No, I agree with that. But I also think, even like you said, those people who are like, you know, very straight line, like 18 months, get a promotion, and we just kind of rock this out, and this is just kind of, you know, the path that they're on. There has to be, and when I say build together, I mean like a part of each other's stories, right? A part of each other's experience. So you could date somebody who, you know, and again, it's about compatibility. That's why I'm saying like love is more than just a feeling, right? It is a choice. We are choosing this thing.
Where'd you get that from? That is such a good premise. I never heard that before.
So I have, there is a couple books that I've read about it. But my favorite is Bell Hooks, All About Love.
At the end of the day, Ronnie, I am a man. A man who's gay. You like niggas. Get that through your head.
Sorry. Where'd you hear from? Sorry, go ahead.
It's All About Love by Bell Hooks.
Okay.
And it is a very, very, you know, renowned book. And it's referenced a lot. And when I read it a few times. But my biggest kind of major conclusion about that is that we as people think about love, again, as a feeling versus an action, versus a verb, versus having some type of choice in the matter. Like we may feel lust. I think we feel lust. We may feel a lot of different things, but love and love specifically to me, in the way that I've defined it now and understand it, is that it takes a choice to love somebody over and over again, every day, waking up and deciding I'm going to love you. And because bad times are going to happen, rough times are going to, you know, are inevitable, right? Through loss of job, loss of family, loss of like life and all these things. But to wake up every day and say, I'm still going to choose to love you through the bad times. I think, because it won't always feel that way, right? Like the feeling of love won't always be there, but it is a choice to decide I'm going to hold on to this and what we have because I know it is special.
But what is that? I guess going back to the premise of the question for me is like, then what's the genesis of the fear in committing to a person? Because I sometimes. I think some of it is what we just talked about, which is I got to get my shit together before I settle down. I think also too, sometimes as a guy, like maybe this is a black man thing or not. Every day I'm going into the world, I have to go on with like my invisible armor, right? I have to go in every day of like, I need to conquer the world. I need to be the best Danny I possibly can. And some people take that to the extreme. Some people it's whatever, but there's a generality of like, I gotta be at this job that I don't like because I need to make money. I need to, I need to provide for myself. No one's gonna save me. And I think there's something sometimes too, when you're in a relationship, there's a little bit of softness that comes into play because you can't bring that same hardness to your person, right? You soften, you take the armor off at the door a little bit. Some of the problems that you had, you put them under the bed. You tuck them in your pocket. So now you're with this shorty, and you lack some of that drive to, let me just email this person, let me just text this person, let me just go to this thing, because you're feeling a little bit of that lust, that love, that like, damn, all right, like I could go do this thing and be out till 1 a.m., not even on some party shit, but it's investing in a relationship, or I can get like my fucking back rubbed and like get dinner made for me and someone telling me how much they like me. And I think that's like it's an interesting juxtaposition because in that moment you're kind of in this, you've been in that position where you date somebody and y'all hanging out for a day or two and you just damn near butt naked half the time and just like obsessed with each other and you're in that space and that's like the inverse of hustling. Yeah, exactly.
But you got shit to do. So you're saying it's more of a distraction.
Yeah, it is. But
right?
It sounds derogatory to say love is distracting, but it is. It is, and it can be.
I think it can be if there is no. If we look at love as just being like, because again, I think everything that we do in life, whether that's career, love, all those things, take sacrifice, right? There's sacrifice that needs to exist in order for us to get to success, whether that's time with our people, with our loved ones, with whatever, we're all sacrificing to try and build and to grow anywhere. And I think that when we think about love, we kind of take away the thinking behind it because it's like, oh, this is love. This is a feeling. I want to be with you. So I'm just going to be here. I'm just going to do this versus being open and vulnerable and clear about like, all right, we can do this, but I also like, I need to do this. And we need to do, and I need you to be okay with me doing this. You know what I mean?
That is the hard part.
I think that there's a lack of, because again, it makes you feel like you can't say that, or you shouldn't say that, or I shouldn't.
Right. I was about to say that. I was about to say,
but the reality is, if this is love, if we're saying we're loving each other, this is true love, and that's what we're calling it, I should be able to do this, and it should be none the wiser. Right. Now, obviously, there are some sacrifices that need to be made, and some, whatever. It can't be all the time that happens, right? So there will be times where it feels like a distraction. It can be, but there has to be moments where the ebb and flow of life. It isn't just like, okay, when I'm at home, when I'm with my person, with my partner, I can't do none of this at all. Right? That can't always be it, because then you're not with the right person. That's compatibility, right? I'm not with the right person if I can't be who I need to be.
Some of that is a lack of,
I can please you and them.
Some of it is a lack of communication. And to your point, I've done that. I've been in that position where I'm like, I'm over analyzing how they're going to feel, but they're like, bruh, I never said that you couldn't do this. I never said you can't do that, And I think sometimes it's like as a single person, once again, going back to that hardness, you feel like, if I got a date with a random shorty and someone asked me to do a spot, last minute, I don't feel any regret or hesitation to say, let me cancel this or let's meet 2 hours later because I have a spot, But yes, as your girl and you have a date night set up, it's hard to still be like, oh yeah, you want me to do a spot here in the city? Okay, babe, hey, I know we got reservations, but let's cancel, let's move it in an hour, let's do it next week so I can do this 15-minute unpaid spot. Yeah. And like that's a legit, and that's, me in my life as a comedian, but it can show up in so many different ways and things. So anyways, I think maybe it's an ongoing conversation for us. Maybe I'll have it with a guest or we can have it with another guest together. But I think analyzing the fear that men have around settling down and committing and whatever that committing is, I think some of it comes from monogamy because
this is sort of, I guess this will be my last thing on it, because I think about fear in this way of like, when we're advocating for ourselves at a job and we're like, oh, like I need more money, or they offer you a job and you're like, oh, I want to raise, I want to counter offer them, but I'm scared. I don't know if the reality is this: if you counter offer them and it doesn't work out and they're like, no, we can't reach that number, or you're just countering offer and they're like, oh, we can't, whatever. More often than not, they're not going to be like, oh, you asked for too much money, I'm going to rescind this entire offer from you. You asking for too much, we never going to. It's going to be like, sorry, we can't meet that number, but are you willing to take this number? We can talk about, here's some stuff we can do. Here's It's never going to be like a moment of like, F you, we're done with you, buddy. I'm never going to do it. Exactly. And so that's what I think about communication when it comes into a relationship. So if there are things that you need to bring up for your own I want you to be good. You have to tell me these things. And I think you need to be with somebody who equally is like, you got to let me know this stuff. I don't want you to be losing shit because that's our money. Hopefully that'll be our money one day. Hopefully that's our stuff that we're building, right?
Yeah, and I think the other side that, once again, that's a good like verdict too. And I think the other side of it is the how do you fulfill those gaps, right? So you do cancel say dinner plans for a thing, and then all right, how do you then block out and say, I'm not gonna do this 2 nights in a row, so let or let's reschedule to the morning and I'll take you to brunch and bring flour, just doing that thing. And honestly too, now dating as a comedian in my space now, when people meet me as a comedian, I think the filtering kind of happens before I meet women oftentimes, where they understand this is a priority of mine.
What this is.
And I think as I was like transitioning into comedy, it's
pull
really
up to the show. We'll do something afterwards. You know, like it's just. I think that they're just. Yeah, and I think again, like you said, because they've met you as a comedian, I think that there are ways that you can be like, hey, I don't want, but this is where I'm at right now. And if you believe in me and what I'm trying to do, come to the show. If you guys, if you want to meet up later, we can do that. But this is something I gotta do. It's a good spot. It's worth me doing it. If it wasn't, I would have canceled on us. Exactly. And I guess that's like that understanding. But I think it just takes clear communication. And when you don't communicate, then like I think fear is a big part of that too, of just like not knowing, the fear of not knowing and not understanding. And
confrontation, having to prepare for confrontation, even if it's not super confrontational, is kind of exhausting when you can just do the bare minimum of just like not, it's like when you got to pay taxes. I know I got to pay taxes, but the fact that I got to pull out my bank account number and then do this, and I got to see the number, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, great conversation. Like I said, I think we should continue that, because we could probably go on hours and hours and hours about fear and what that means. But every week, Torrance, we have a segment that our listeners, that our friends, that our former lovers, that our landlords send us. So Torrance's segment, So I Dated, is that segment. So Torrance, can you give us our question, our story, our thought?
Yes. So this one reads, so I dated someone who is still very close with their ex. Okay. They talk regularly, hang out occasionally, and swear it's completely platonic. She said I should be more mature enough to understand that their history didn't mean anything anymore. But something about it always made me feel very uncomfortable. Is being friends with your ex a red flag, or are they just being mature and I don't get it?
I'm curious if this is a heterosexual situation, or if it's two guys or two girls, or 2 days.
It didn't say. Because I think as I would assume, 2 girls, 2 guys, right? Like we're a bunch of guys hanging out. I would assume that some of even your dating interest comes from your social group, right? Like you're hanging around dudes. There's a group of guys. Say it's, your friend introduced you to another friend of 4 or 5 guys that maybe from work or college or whatever. And you all go to a concert. It's like, all right, we kind of have some friends in common. We, like similar music. You look kind of good. I would maybe date you. Your friend gives the cosign, vice versa. Boom, y'all then end up in a situation. It doesn't work out. Now, 3-4 years later, say we are still in that same friend group circle. I meet somebody else. Do I then now have to like not talk to this person that started out as just a homie or friend of a friend that I also end up dating? I can see that being tough. As a dude who dates girls, I think that I've done a pretty decent job the past few years of, if we're not fucking anymore, just being friends and being cool, But I think if the next situation I get in that's like I'm in a committed monogamous, this is the thing, I probably would extremely limit those conversations with somebody if we used to fuck around. I think it also on context. Are they just replying to a story and it's a LOL, or it's it's a ha or whatever? Sure. But I don't need to be texting my ex shorty from 2 years ago if I'm in a relationship. And I would hope my shorty would do the same. Now, another thing on this, I'll let you go after this. My homeboy is a comedian. He was telling the story about
how he worked with his ex on a different project, just like doing like camera op stuff, because he also was talented behind the camera and like directing things. And his ex got him this job, and he was saying how he wanted to communicate this to his current girl, that like, I need to take this job because of the bread, but my ex did give me this job. And I think like situations like that, as an adult, go for it. Like, we all have a past. It's impossible to say, my girl's a virgin, she never fucked with nobody else in the sphere of things. And hopefully I'm a good enough person. That should be a good sign to you, partner, that I'm a good enough person that my ex would put me on a job, you know, to put money in my pocket, no strings attached. So I think there's a couple different ways where I don't think it's fair to hard and fast say somebody shouldn't have any communication with their ex. What say you?
Yes, I think I am inclined to agree. To some degree, because even in this one, it said they talk regularly and they hang out occasionally.
So I missed that part. Regularly is crazy.
Yeah. Regularly, to me,
what we doing?
It's too much. To me, there's something, y'all still got some stuff back there. There's something still in there that like, either that like.
Regularly is crazy.
Regularly to me is insane. Honestly, truly. Regularly is insane. Because I still talk to, or not all of them, but a few of my exes I still am in somewhat communication with. But regularly?
Because they're in your collection. You got, like your Future song that, even if I fuck you once, you're part of my, that's what you wrote those, right? Those lyrics, I think. So it's like, okay. I still got to talk to my
still, like some of them, right? Some of them are
what
blocked.
You said. Yeah.
Some of them are blocked. Some of them I talk to. Some of them are cool with. Sometimes I'm not. Whatever. But reality is like, in order for you, because again, those come with emotions. Like emotions are attached to this experience, right? And I think a part of me is always like, in my own reality, and it may be very different for others, is that like, if I have expressed love to you in some capacity, there is a part of you that I loved. And there will always be a part of me in my mind or in my energy that I'm like, that part of you I loved. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it was caked up. No, I was just giving you ad libs as you were talking about parts of you. I was saying that ass.
Oh, in particular, that ass is fat. Okay.
The little ding at the back of your throat. Actually, I love that part.
Okay. You said I like that. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. But yes, I do think
that's valid.
I think to me it's a red flag if you talk regularly to your ex.
Yes, a lot.
And you swear that it's platonic and you swear that it's all those things. I don't care whether it's heterosexual, homosexual, I don't care what kind of situation that it is. If you are with your ex in that capacity, on a consistent, constant, regular basis, to me, that is a red flag. To me, I don't know whether that's going to mean that y'all are holding on until y'all realize that y'all were meant to be later. I think that there's a part of you that needs to move on, even if it's while we're together. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just right now in this moment, there needs to be some distance between y'all so we can get there. We can't get there if this nigga's in your face, talking to you all the time, because you're getting that itch scratched by this person that you once loved and once cared about and was once with.
And the big thing there really is not even necessarily I don't trust my person. If I'm with somebody, if I'm committed to somebody, I trust them. So that's a baseline, and I let them live and exist in that trust. And you have to unearn my trust for me to act differently. But what I don't trust is that nigga that used to fuck you.
Yeah.
And he might not even cross the line, but there's very few dudes who are mature enough to just leave somebody where they're at and not try some slick shit, whether it be dirty Mac on me, whether it be try to still weasel their way in. If you popped up and said, this is a good hard and fast rule. If you have a friend and if you told them, yo, you trying to fuck real quick? And if they said yes, there should be a little bit of a red flag as to how you treat them when you're in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
like boy, girl, whatever. If my girl is friends with another dude and they're cool homies, whatever. One day she's like, yo, do you want to fuck real quick? And he's like, absolutely. I never thought you would ask. That to me is like,
I've been waiting for you to ask.
You know what I'm saying? Enough of a red flag to be like, all right, you probably need to edit the way in which you talk to this person or interact with this person. You know what I'm saying?
And I also am in the space of like my big thing, how I kind of live life in general is that like everybody's allowed to change their mind, right? Everyone's allowed to change their fucking mind. As much as I would like to say that you are, and again, that's me like relinquishing control over anybody. You grown, like you have this relationship. You're there. You're doing your thing, but you're allowed to change your mind at any point in your life. And as devastating as that might be to me, I'm grown. I'll get over it. I'll figure it out. So
Change
in
your
that
mind in what way?
understanding that, like, change your mind about whether you want to do this thing with me, right? Like, if we're in a relationship, I'm in a relationship with somebody, and you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to say no and walk away, right? And that's just, I can't do shit about that. There's nothing that I can say or do if that is a choice that you're going to make. So in my own thinking of it is one of my rules about like relinquishing control over people, right? Is that everyone is allowed to change their fucking minds, right? And that has been a hard lesson for me to learn.
That's a healthy way to. Yeah.
Ooh, it's tough, but it's also just like you're fine. Like that's literally what I've had to tell them. Everyone is allowed to change their mind whether they want to be with you or not. I hope that you love me enough to care about me enough to stay and like let's do this thing together, which is why I think about life and love being a choice. But if I think of life that way, I think of love that way, that everyone's allowed to change their mind. I'm not comfortable with you talking to your ex every day, regularly, and y'all hang out all the time because to me, the probability of you changing your mind to go back to something that you are very familiar with, because I know what that feels like. You know what that feels like going back to the old, like what you're familiar with, what has felt comfortable for you, right? What sits well with your body in some capacity, whether no matter how good or bad it is, it still sits well. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't feel comfortable with you engaging in that way because again, you could change your mind for sure. And that's the probability, at least for my mind, goes up if y'all are in communication like that.
I think the last thing I'll say, kind of my verdict, is that the important piece of it that we didn't discuss is that you also follow these rules as well. Like when I was in my situation, I was married, my phone was dry, like, you know, no do not disturb, you know, notifications on, I'm in nobody's DMs, like nothing. You might get like a like from me, you know, on a public picture every now and then, but like nothing, you know what I'm saying? Cause I would expect that from, you know, my person I'm with. And so I just think that's the most important part is like, don't be fucking around with your ex, but then I'm on, you know, Instagram DMing LOLs and giving hella smiley faces. But yeah, anyways, the verdict is, leave that nigga alone, man. Come home to me. I'm the only friend. You know what I'm saying? If you need a friend, I like to laugh. Ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me what y'all be joking about. Tell me what y'all be joking about.
You need somebody to talk to me about? Talk to me. I got another personality I can pull out.
He understand? Okay, well tell me about it. Let me learn about it. Let me know
let me
a
understand
fluffy that y'all used to talk
how
about.
I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
Since
My
I'm
verdict
fucking up so
is
much.
also similarly like, look, I think that everyone can be friends with, you can be friends with who you want to be friends with, but to be that close, that's a red flag to me and it doesn't sit well with me. So I gotta let you do your thing. And that's okay, because just like you're allowed to make choices, I'm allowed to change my mind and be like, yeah, no, that actually doesn't feel good to me. So we're not.
Now, if your friend is another shorty, she look good, then let's have a conversation about starting a family together.
Okay, so we're talking sister wives. Okay.
No, that's a lot of work. Anyways, this is another episode of Dated. I love you people that are listening to this podcast. We're building a community, an episode by episode. We're talking about love. We're talking about foolishness. We're talking about black love. It's getting warm outside. Like I said, it's getting warm. It's that time of year. Either shit or get off the pot. I
can't wait till the breakup. Till our breakup playlist and top songs.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we rattle those all. I feel like those are gonna be
it's gonna be really good.
The streets are gonna be ready for that. Because again, unfortunately, while I would love for all love to be great love, all love ain't all good love. So we're gonna have a playlist.
A lot of mid.
Yeah. It's a lot of mid love out there.
So we'll do like a breakup song versus. Maybe we'll do that. But thank y'all for listening. Another episode of Dated. I'm Danny. That is Torrance. We're here every Monday. Follow us on Instagram at Dated Show. I think that's the Instagram. Anyways, it's in the link in the bio. We're also on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube, Danny Sellers TV, You'll see me on there. You see all the episodes on there. You'll see cutouts from the episode. I'll try to cut out Torrance's segment. That's kind of where we really get into some of the investigation of it all. So run those numbers up. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. We need all of it. We'll see y'all next time. Love you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yeah.